Hello, everybody. It is Jackie here, and I have David with me. Hi, David.
Hey Jackie, how are you?
I'm pretty good. Are we talking about how we've had a 2 week break
Oh, do we need to? We took a little break. Did you miss us?
I
Drop,
missed us.
drop a note in the comments if you missed hearing us on the airwaves the last 2 weeks. Has your life been complete without us?
I missed us, David. I missed putting the podcast together. It's one of my fun favorite things to do each week.
It is rather fulfilling, isn't it?
It is.
Breaks up the daily grind.
It does, yeah.
Well, we have both had Rona.
Yes, we did.
Yes, as much as the world wants to move on, it certainly kicked my butt for a few days the last few weeks.
Well, yes, and if you are listening in good old Adelaide, which is where David and I are both, pretty much everyone in Adelaide has had it at the moment. Every single person I talked to, because I had to cancel a whole bunch of appointments and postpone a few things, every single person said, "Oh, I've had that," or "I'm recovering from that."
Yep.
It's been terrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bookings have taken a hit. Other
Mm,
than me having to cancel bookings just like you have had to.
mm.
It's been the clients who, good on them. They are recognizing symptoms early and they are contacting early and saying, sorry, can't come in. I've got the Rona. Which is excellent because they shouldn't be on our tables, even though some still try to sneak through with air quotes. It's just hay fever. It's just a bit of sinus stuff.
No,
There's been plenty of discussion about this in some of
no.
the Facebook groups recently, but every cancellation still does hurt, just particularly when they come in en masse.
It does. It definitely does hurt. But it's been good as well because then we've had a couple of slow days, so we've been able to rest. So yeah, it's not been terrible. Well, it's been terrible, but it could have been worse.
So, what do you do in your downtime if someone doesn't show up?
What do I do? Gosh, I will either clean the office or catch up on my notes or catch up on my paperwork because I'm usually always behind in my paperwork. Yeah, anything and everything. A lot of the time, I just end up scrolling through social media as well.
The truth comes out. I'm very much the same. There's only so many
Yeah.
times that you can clean the office in one day.
Well, the thing is, by the end of the day, I will often be quite tired, and you just don't have the brain capacity to go, okay, I'm just going to sort out some of my tax things right now. Like, you just want to chill. So the
Yeah.
phone comes out and the social media gets a bit of a flick through.
Yes, yes. Right now, Amazon is
Mm.
having its mid-year sale, so I've been having a good old peruse, busy putting things in my cart, then stepping away, coming back to them and going, do I really need those things?
You don't really.
But it's that time of year for doing compliance things as well. As we roll into end of financial year, certainly I've spent some time getting my bookkeeping up to date and I've updated my first aid kit and test and tag is happening next week because that happens twice a year. And just all those little bits and pieces which will set me up for a really good, strong financial year for next year.
You're making the rest of us look bad, David.
You know, I'm a stickler for compliance.
You are. I'm currently in the process of doing my tax for last year. And then but I'm hoping for the tax year that we're about to finish, because we're in June now, is going to be done quite early. So,
Yep.
but that's how I usually do my tax. I do one very late and one very early. So I sort of do them together because I try to put it off as much as possible because I hate doing it. I don't know why, I just hate doing it. So please,
FYI, this is not good operational practice.
I know, David. I know. I know. And we literally just had a conversation before about this. And I actually mentioned to David that I am about to register for GST. And I'm both excited and very annoyed because it means more paperwork and more transferring of funds to a different account and then paying a different bill to the government.
And putting your price up.
And yes, I'm definitely going to have to put my price up. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Yes. Because you
yeah.
now add GST to your cost, you don't
Mhm.
subtract it from your fee.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yes.
so there's a lot happening. But I'm hoping that with this change flicking over to GST, that my tax, the whole bookkeeping and tax thing, because I'm going to have to be more rigorous with it, that it will actually be, I'm not going to necessarily say easier, but definitely more compliant from now
Mm.
on.
Yeah.
So, anyway, the point of my story was please don't feel bad if you're listening to this and you feel like a hot mess. We are all in various stages of getting our shit together. So,
Oh, I'm
yeah.
going to have a new tattoo made up. I think it says, why have fun when you can have compliance?
Oh my God, that is so you, David.
So, what is our topic today, Jackie?
Well, we've decided to come back from being unwell and have a little bit of fun. So, we're actually talking about more podcasts. So, it's
Yeah.
podcasts that we listen to, and we have
Yes.
some really great ones lined up to tell you about.
Yes. Well, what is your favorite podcast at the moment?
Well, my actual favorite one that I listen to quite a lot is called One Song. Um, so one as in the number one song. And so each episode is dedicated to dissecting and talking about one particular song. And it's run by these two guys out of the US. Um, and the production quality is absolutely amazing. So it is a joy to listen to. They are so knowledgeable about music because they're both, I'm going to get this slightly wrong, I'm sure, but they're like writers, producers. One of them is a DJ. So they have been and are in the industry. And yeah, they're just so knowledgeable about music. And so they've done episodes on they did Britney Spears Toxic. They have done, I'm just going to have to look it up because I can't remember the names of anything at the moment.
Welcome to COVID brain fog.
Oh, it's terrible. It is really terrible. So Britney Spears Toxic was really interesting. Like that was super interesting. Blondie, Call Me. Oh, they've one recent one is Jolene by Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
And Groove is in the Heart by D-Light. Let's Get It On, Marvin Gaye. I'm just going to list everything. One of my favorite songs of all time, David, New Order's Blue Monday. That was a fascinating trip into 70s and 80s British music. Like,
Mm.
so interesting. And then one of my other favorite songs was Into the Groove by Madonna. And the reason that I found this was from Prince's Let's Go Crazy because I'm a massive Prince fan. And the other one that I loved, which was so, so interesting, was Stevie Wonder's Superstition.
Mm.
Such a great
Love
song.
that
And
song.
it is. And they delve into so much backstory as well. And like I've told you a whole bunch of the songs that I love, but there are songs that they talk about that I have never heard of before. But the backstory that they go into, like with the Marvin Gaye song, Let's Get It On, they went into, like, they went back like decades and talked about how things led up to get into that like genre, and how it all came about and who was the particular person that, um, like sort of started everything that made that all happen. Like I can't even explain it. It's so interesting. So I talk about this podcast to everybody and I annoy everybody with it. I keep telling my daughter to listen to this, and my son because they love music. And they're like, all right, mum, we get it. Like, we get it. You love it. It's like, it's good. But I just love it so much. So yeah, everybody go and find one song, and I'm going to tag them in the socials as well. And I hope I haven't like stuffed up my adoration of these two fellows too much because I do love this podcast so much. I think it's probably one of the best made podcasts and most interesting out there at the moment.
I think what we need to take away from this is that if you are listening to things, and okay, you're probably listening to us now because it's related to what you do and love, but it is really, really important to have a passion that is outside of what you do that fills your heart with joy. And Jackie, you are passionate about music and all things music. But there are podcasts out there that might tickle your fancy in other ways. It might be around woodwork or around rockets, or you can find somebody talking about literally anything on a podcast, someone that will be talking just to you about something that you're super passionate about.
Oh my gosh, David. Yes, yes, yes. 100%.
You do not
I
need to
actually
spend
mentioned
your entire time in massage land, and you shouldn't.
it feels like I do. So this is something that is completely away from massage. It has nothing to do with massage. And I really get right into it. And I love I'm a very curious person by nature, and I love hearing about, oh, that person was actually like the drummer on this other song, and this particular artist that I have loved for years, oh, they did all this other stuff that I didn't know about. Yeah, like I could keep talking about one song forever. I just love it so much. I'm sorry, I'll shut up now.
Well, one that I'm really into at the moment, and it was my 11-year-old son who introduced me to this. I
Mm.
was a little bit worried when he said, "Oh, I found a comedian on Spotify that I've been listening to because he's on my account and it's unrestricted." I'm like, "Oh my goodness, what has he found?" And thank goodness it was very wholesome. There is a comedian by the name of Stuart McLean. Oh, God rest his soul, he passed away, I think, in 2019. He's Canadian, and the podcast is simply called Live at the Backstage Cafe. And Stuart is a wonderful storyteller, and these comic stories go for about 20 to 25 minutes, and he just builds the layers, the layers, the layers, the layers. And we have a great time driving places, listening to Stuart McLean together. And one of the things that I really love is that the main character in Stuart's stories is Dave.
Ah,
And Dave does some pretty goofy things. It started off with Dave and the bicycle, which I roared with laughter to that one. And Dave and the Tank of Tranquility, where he buys himself an isolation tank and accidentally locks his friend Kenny Wong, who runs Kenny Wong's Scottish meat pies, in the tank and leaves him in there to tenderize. Um, there's some just very, very funny humor all the way through, very wholesome.
oh my God, that is hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. If you need something to stir the soul a little bit and lift your spirits,
Yeah.
Stuart McLean, live at the Backstage Cafe. So now that we've talked about some things that are a bit off topic and things that lift our hearts, let's get into business and talk about massage podcasts and bodywork or health podcasts or things that might be a little bit businessy related.
Ooh, let's do it. Loving it.
Yep.
So, our first one, obviously, hopefully this is super obvious. Stuart Hines, Talking
Woo!
Tissue. Has
Yes.
anyone listened to this yet, guys?
Stuart has some amazing guests.
He does. He is talking about techniques as well as interviewing people a little bit, but it's like it's not technique heavy.
Yeah, I think my favorite interview that he did was with Jeff Shearer.
Mm,
Jeff Shearer is an acupuncturist, and he talked a lot about burnout. He talked a lot about making sure you don't stress your body too much and adaptation, and the things that led him into his practice and the ethics and foundational principles of his practice. And that one just had a real strong resonance with me.
what else does Stuart tell us about? I'm going to look it up,
There's
David.
a back catalogue of about 5 years worth of worth of material there.
Is it 5 years? Get
There's there's
out.
there's a lot. He doesn't release on a regular basis, maybe once a month or once every 2 months. Yeah, Robert Schleep, that was a fantastic episode. Look that one up. He's a clinical anatomist from Germany. John Sharkey, he's from Ireland.
Mm,
That was also a fascinating interview. Someone we heard from at the conference, Brendan Cole. He was a guest late last year on Talking Tissue. Fantastic, fantastic episode.
yes, definitely. I haven't listened to that one yet, but I'm sorry, Stuart. I'll listen to some more. There's also the ABMP podcast from the USA, which talks about so many different things in relation to massage and bodywork and business of massage and bodywork as well.
Yeah, that's right. Again, they've got some excellent guests, and one of their guests is Alyssa Haynes, and we have spoken her praises a number of times. She often talks businessy related things on that one. They often get Ruth Werner in as a guest, and again, we've talked about Ruth Werner in previous episodes as well, talking about pathology and those types of important conversations. So if you are looking for content and some for learning, broad learning, and maybe to be introduced to some teachers that you maybe have never heard of before, or questions that you have for from the industry, you're likely to find all that stuff on the ABMP podcast.
And they are still putting stuff out very regularly. There's episodes released this week.
Yes.
Whereas if we're talking about, for instance, Alyssa Haynes and Michael Reynolds' podcast, which is the Massage Business Blueprint, they are not putting out episodes anymore. You can still access them, but they stopped in 2023. Yeah.
Hmm.
The point is so much information on those two
Yes.
podcasts. Tons and
Yes.
tons and tons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely look them up.
So part of that podcast is the Ruth Werner I Have a Client Who series, where she will talk about all sorts of medical conditions and the implications of working with a person with that condition from a bodywork perspective.
We talked about Ruth on a previous episode, David, one of her podcasts. I think, was that an episode on consent?
Because
Yeah.
she even has a little training course on consent.
Mm, that's right. Yes. I remember now.
Ruth is super knowledgeable. She was the author of one of my textbooks on pathology, and to get a detailed bodywork specific view on working with people with particular conditions is just really helpful.
She is an absolute legend, and everybody that works with clients in massage therapy should really know who she is. And yeah, definitely give some of those episodes a listen for sure.
Now, who are you particularly passionate about there, Jackie?
I've actually listened to a few episodes from ABMP that I can't remember what they were about. They were businessy episodes, and the Massage Business Blueprint as well. I haven't listened to the Ruth Werner episodes though. I really loved. We had Paul Averill on a while ago. We interviewed him for an episode, and he has a podcast which he's not putting out any more content at the moment, but there's quite a few episodes. The Man Bits podcast, I really loved that. I actually listened to quite a few episodes of his, and they were great.
So another that I like to listen to is called Sawbones, a marital tour of misguided medicine. And
What?
it's really funny. It's a husband and wife team, Dr. Sydney McElroy and her partner Justin, and they talk about all sorts of medical stuff. Usually Justin just has a laugh and a subtle dig at Sydney, and Sydney comes in with all the facts. And they cover all sorts of things. Like one that I was listening to the other day was about how CPR works. And that
Right.
was really timely as I was about to do my CPR and first aid refresher. They talk about some of the sort of health and wellness curie type things and give a lot of facts around that. Sometimes they talk about diseases, like they had one on malaria one day,
Oh,
um,
interesting.
hepatitis C. They did one recently around the anatomy of Marvel superheroes, and that was quite funny.
Oh my God, I'm gonna have to listen to that. That sounds so amazing.
Yeah, so that one's called Sawbones Marvel Anatomy.
Right. I'm gonna pop that on my following list very like in a minute. It's really interesting when you get into the history of medicine, not diseases, but medicine and how um, doctors were like the history of how being a doctor came to be, because doctors didn't do surgery for a long time. That those were dentists and butchers
Mm,
for many
that's
years.
right.
And then it generally, like at some point it transitioned to, you know, like doctors would actually touch patients and do surgeries.
Yeah, well,
The
the old
the history
malaria
of it's
care,
fascinating.
the old malaria
Yeah.
care, you'd go to the barber and he'd slit your wrists
Mm,
and drain your blood to get rid of the toxins from your body.
yeah. My kids love to listen to the Dr. Carl
Yes.
podcast. Yeah,
Yes.
that's another one of yours, I know.
Yes, we listen to that too.
Yeah.
He's very easy to listen to. He's very learned. And I
Mm,
appreciate that if he doesn't know the answer to something, he'll say, I don't know.
yeah.
And he'll come back the next week with an answer. And I also appreciate that sometimes listeners call in to correct him, because science is progressive and
Yeah.
you can be stuck with old knowledge. And so someone will come back and say, hey, we used to think that way, but this is the new stuff. He's like, oh my God, I didn't know that. And thank you for informing me.
That
um,
is such a great attitude. I love that. And he
yes.
strikes me as a very curious person as well.
Yes.
He
Yes, he
wants
is.
to delve into little things and find out stuff. Yeah.
Mm, yep. I'd like him to be a little bit more open-minded around wellness things, but he is trained as a medical doctor, and
Right.
that's that allopathic care is just how he is indoctrinated.
Yeah, for sure.
Hmm.
That is a little bit of an issue with some stuff. Hello to everybody in perimenopause. I do actually listen to a few podcasts, or I have. I'm not listening to anything currently, but I have listened to a few podcasts around birthing as well. Um, so there's a few like the Great Birth Rebellion, and oh, what's the other one that I listened to? I can't remember what it is now. Oh, Back to Basics Birthing, which is Vicky Hobbs, who is in Western Australia. She is amazing. Australian Birth Stories is the one that I was thinking about. So I do recommend some of the birthing podcasts to my clients, because I obviously see a few people for pregnancy massage. And there's some amazing birthing and child rearing podcasts in Australia, produced and made here in Australia. We have some excellent knowledge happening here around the birthing world. So yeah, that's one that I do listen to. I'm not sure that you would have listened to any of those, David.
Probably not. I'm unlikely to give birth ever, and
No.
as a family, we've moved forward from that as well.
Well, I was going to say, like, at one point it would have been relevant to you, but it's not anymore because you guys are not having any more kids. So, yeah,
No,
that
no,
is a
no,
point.
no.
Yeah, same. No more kids here.
Hmm. Have you
Uh,
listened to Arnie's Pump Club?
no, but you keep telling me about this. I think you're obsessed with this one, David.
Look, I listened to it for a bit of a laugh. Um, if you don't know who Arnie is, Arnold Schwarzenegger, one of the greatest actors of all time, in my opinion.
The Terminator
Yes, the Terminator.
or the Governator. He was the Governator for a while.
Anyway, Arnold has a quite an extensive fitness background, being a Mr. Universe, and he's quite open about his use of steroids during that time as well. But he is now quite a highly sought after health coach. And so Arnie's Pub Club is aimed at that health and wellness and fitness um, genre of people who are on their journey and who can't afford to be one of his clients in person. And I love it because somebody writes it and it's not him, and it's all generated through AI. He has spent time training his voice in AI. And of course, he's the Terminator. But anyway, there's really good snippets of information. He talks about nutritional things. He talks about good healthy habits. He talks about if you don't have the capacity to run a marathon today, perhaps you can start with a walk around the block and just finding your way into a more healthy and active lifestyle without having to feel guilty about what you can and can't do.
That is really good advice, and I'm a huge fan of Arnold Schwarzenegger because of obviously Terminator 2 and a bunch of other movies that he's done. Um, yeah, that's really good. I might have to actually give it a listen. I'll do it for you, David. All right.
Yes, yes.
Every now and then he's like, "Have you listened to it yet, Jackie? Come on, hurry up."
Yep.
Uh, what about your other favorite one? I know this is a favorite one of yours, David, the thinking practitioner.
Yeah. Oh, look, Till Luca, Whitney Lowe, they're both in the US, both esteemed practitioners. I love the work of Till Luca. Um, they have a fascinating podcast called The Thinking Practitioner. Paula Nutting was a guest on their show just recently.
That's right, she was.
And they had
Yeah.
one recently on pain science. That was also quite fascinating. They had Lorimer Mosley on as a guest. Lorimer Mosley is a physiotherapist, doctor of physiotherapy here in Adelaide, and now an esteemed worldwide expert on chronic pain, talking about pain education with clients with chronic pain conditions, and how he was so dissatisfied with the care provided through physiotherapy for chronic pain, and has made it his mission to move forward, and does a lot of work around educating practitioners on how to talk about pain. Fascinating episode, absolutely fascinating. And do
Wow.
yourself a favor, look that one up. Episode 111, How Body Workers Can Explain Pain with Lorimer Mosley. Um, they have had other guests like Tom Myers. Hopefully that name rings a bell to many of you.
Anatomy trains.
Yes. Yes, Jill Headley, the fuzz speech guy, another anatomist. They just have some of the best guests, the biggest names in bodywork in the world, and they just have these good, honest conversations with them.
Oh, David, episode 105 is called Chronic Cough.
Oh,
I'm adding that one to my list right now. I'm laughing, but honestly, like it's a problem for a lot of people and a lot of
and
my clients.
and you can see who the guest is there as well.
It's Walt Fritz and Ruth Werner. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Walsh is an amazing practitioner as well. Put him on your list of people to
Oh
look up.
yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
Absolutely. I know we sort of have a bit of a giggle about things, but this is like you can learn so much from these industry giants for absolutely nothing. It is
yep.
so easy to listen to the way that they talk, and like even hopefully some people can relate back to this, but even with when we were at the conference, David, some of the talks were about sport and athletes. And we mentioned Brendan Cole before. He was talking about taking his clients, his people, and helping them be all that they can be at the Olympics.
Mm,
And like I don't see any athletes. I don't do sports massage, but I learned so much just from
yep.
listening to him talk and how he went from being a student to a massage therapist to
Yes.
a coach, and with his athletic background, because obviously he's a sports person as well. Like it was just so interesting. Like there is so much to learn from all of these wonderful people. And even if you are not like myself, this is a great example. I see people that run, but I would never say that I do sports massage because it's not something that I do. And I don't see athletes more than occasionally. So, like, I just learned so much. And I love that even though I don't listen to podcasts all the time, like, you can just learn so much from all of these wonderful people. There's so much knowledge out there. Please, guys, run with it, take it. Look, put these on your list.
All of these people we've talked about are giving their information for free
Yeah.
for the benefit of you, the practitioner, for the advancement of our profession.
Yes. Yes, and that is a really good point, David, for the advancement of our profession, because
Mm,
research is happening all the time, and that's another thing that was talked about at the conference. Multiple people who work in the industry, who are researchers, who are doing the work, were telling us massage and research is the in thing at the moment. It is
hmm.
really starting to take off. So, yeah,
Yep.
please, guys, learn all you can. It is so good at the moment. We have it so good.
So another one that I like to listen to, and this is not massage and bodywork related, it's a another Australian-made podcast called Small Business Big Marketing,
Mm,
run by a marketer by the name of Tim Reed. Tim's claim to fame was coming up with the Gillette campaign back in the 80s and 90s of Gillette, the best a man can get.
really? Isn't that interesting?
Yep. And he
Wow.
fell out of love with big corporate, and his passion is small business.
Right.
He loves working with small businesses, and he has the most amazing guests from all around the world talking about their small business journey and how they have grown themselves through marketing and advertising. And the common theme, and I've talked about this on previous episodes, the common theme is be helpful. We have succeeded because we have been helpful. We're not trying to sell anything. That's just an outcome of what we do. But by being helpful, people build trust. By building trust, they have faith and then they want to buy. And I love that message because I detest when I have worked with marketers in the past. They just want to move straight into dirty sales. And
Yeah.
the used car salesperson mentality, the insurance sales mentality of if you don't make the decision today, you may not get another opportunity, which is
Mm.
absolute rubbish.
Yeah, I have to agree with you with all of that, David. And I have actually listened to a couple of Tim's episodes, only two, I think, but he does have a really great message, and he does interview some really fascinating people. One of the ones I listened to was an interview, and I can't remember who it was. I'm sorry, I have COVID brain fog. Um, but it was very interesting, and I find it very helpful to hear what other people have done and then relate that back to my business and sort of take away, okay, maybe I could try that as a strategy, or maybe I could implement that in my business. I don't know if that's how you think as well, Dave, but
Mm,
like that's my takeaway from a lot of those business podcasts.
yep. And then a lot of his guests, I've ended up purchasing from them. I've heard them talk about their things on this particular podcast. You build a degree of trust. So one of them was a guy who did a lot of work around video editing, short videos, and so I did a short course through him. They had a guy talking about swim coaching, and at the time I was swimming for competition. It's like, hey, I can become a better swimmer if I do some work with this guy remotely.
Yeah,
So
right.
yeah, I've gone on to make some expensive purchase decisions, expensive in inverted commas. They've been good purchase decisions, and I would never have known about these people without the um yeah, without the podcast.
Yeah, right.
I think the last one that I want to roll out with from my own list is the Side Hustle podcast with Nick Loper.
Mm.
And again, very small business focused. Nick has some great guests, and they talk about people who've started their businesses. And for anyone who is in the process of starting themselves up right now or has been through that process of starting themselves up, everything from like the guy who picked up a weed cutter one day and just started cutting weeds in the local McDonald's, which then started his lawn care business, through to people who now run agencies of all sorts. They just talk about their stories of the process that they went to get from starting out to where they are today. And they're just interesting to listen to.
I've actually been listening to a short series recently. Like I'm almost at the end of listening to it, David. And it's called Sold a Story. And it's all about the history of reading. So the science of reading and the politics of reading in the USA. And it is absolutely fascinating. So that's what I'm currently listening to.
Nice.
It's very, very interesting. So it talks about dyslexia and how kids are actually taught to read. And one thing that I'm really learning, and I've had this, had someone comment this to me recently when we were talking about this, um, is that a lot of the time, not always, not in every instance, but a lot of the time, there is no actual regulation in regard to what you learn in a course at university or TAFE or college or wherever you are. Um, and I was relating that back to us in Australia as massage therapists. We're actually having, I think it's still happening, David. I'm not sure if our course has been reviewed recently, like that it's been done or it's still happening. I'm not sure.
Mm,
But
yep.
we've gone through another process because it's happened a few times in the last decade. Um, and yeah, and it just like in so the podcast I'm listening to is set in the US and it's about what's happening in the USA. Um, and they actually say like it's up to the university lecturers to train their teachers in whatever they want to teach them. Like there's no like national regulation around it. And so that was a really interesting insight into the business of learning, really. Made me kind of think, are we better off doing it that way, or are we better off actually having some regulation? And I think honestly it's good that we have that regulation. I guess in Australia we have that little like, it's like a base. Everybody's learning the same thing as a baseline kind of thing.
Yeah, the national quality framework and the national training packages
Yeah.
ensures that everyone with a particular qualification is coming out with consistent information. The downside of that is that back in the uh, oh, when did that all come in? About the 2000s or something. Prior to that time, there were massage schools everywhere in Australia. It's like anybody could just call themselves a massage educator. You could stick the title of certificate or diploma onto anything, and some people
Mm,
might graduate with 2 days of training with their diploma, and some might go through 4 years of training and have a diploma.
mm.
Um, that RTO model, it brought in that consistency. The downside is that those schools that had the really comprehensive training, and for your diploma, you had your 4 years of study, all that knowledge disappeared.
Yeah.
So all those crappy providers, they got stamped out. Good, excellent, needed to happen. And those that had a really high standard were told, "Nah, you don't need to teach that anymore. Show us how it aligns with the framework, and then maybe you might be able to do it." And yeah, we have got that middle ground now of good, consistent training. We just
Mm.
lost a lot of knowledge in the process.
I agree with you, David. Like 100% agree with everything you just said. Yeah, and this is why I think like I'm becoming so passionate about listening to the industry greats, the people that have been around for ages, and hearing what they have to say, and just listening to everything I can kind of get my hands on. Um, because yeah, like at eventually that knowledge is not going to be there anymore.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm. Anyway, I'm
Hey, hence
rambling
why
a little
listening
bit. I'm
to
sorry.
podcasts is such a good thing. A lot of those educators are those old school educators.
Mm, they are.
All right, let's wrap this one up, Jackie.
All right, guys, don't forget you may be able to get some CPE points for listening to your favorite podcast.
Check with your association.
Yes, definitely check with your association because not every association will let you listen to a podcast, but it's a bonus, I think, if you can get some CPE points for doing so. So,
Yes,
yeah,
it is another form of
yay.
learning.
It definitely is. Definitely is. And
Yes.
regardless, add some of these to your list on Spotify or Apple and give them a go. Find a few episodes that you love.
If
Yeah,
you are listening on a mobile device, you can click in the show notes section and we will link to all of the podcasts that we have mentioned today.
we will definitely. Thank you so much, David, for chatting with me about One Song, my favorite podcast ever.
If you like what we are doing on the Folding Towers podcast, please hit that subscribe button so that you never miss an episode. And if you happen to be listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please consider leaving us a rating and a review. We would love to hear your feedback. You can always reach out to us on social media through our Instagram page and through Facebook. And you can also head to our website, www.foldingtowerspodcast.com.au. Click on the button to contact us and leave us a message. We'd love to hear from you.
We always love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for listening. We appreciate you so much. And thank you for putting up with my raspy voice again. I appreciate your kind words and your love and appreciation to get over this stupid illness.
Get better soon, Jackie.
Thanks, David. Bye.
Bye. This episode of the Folding Towels podcast is brought to you by HY.GIENE Australia. Did you know that oil retention in towels isn't just gross, but can be a fire hazard? HY.GIENE Australia have worked with the health and wellness industry to develop cleaners and laundry products that are guaranteed to remove oil residues from your towels so that they feel and smell clean, last longer, and reduce your risk of laundry fires. Listeners can get 15% off their next order when they visit hygieneaustralia.com.au and use the code 15 off folding towels.